I want to talk today about Affirm and why you should never, ever use it. Affirm is a company that recently went public. Their initial IPO was, I think, sometime last week, and it went crazy. It doubled in price. Their valuation tripled, whatever, went crazy. And I wanted to talk about it because I thought it was kind of interesting because it's sort of what I talk about a lot on this channel, and it happened to go public. So I thought it was kind of interesting to talk about. If you don't know what Affirm is basically a really, really large credit card company that technically doesn't operate like a credit card company. They claim that they're like the anti-credit card company, but they basically just allow you to buy things you don't have the money for, and they charge you interest on it. That's how it works. That's basically Affirm in a nutshell. And it's kind of scummy. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I wanted to talk about why I didn't like it and what my thoughts about are going around it. The whole thing with Affirm, when you go to their website, it's the buy now, pay later company. That's what it is. Pay at your own pace. When you buy with Affirm, you always know exactly what you'll owe and when you'll be done paying. There are no hidden fees, not even late fees. Sounds pretty good, right? You could buy a TV that you really want to buy for the Super Bowl and pay for it in 2025 if you want, because there's no late fees. However, what they don't charge in late fees, they do charge in interest. So that's sort of how Affirm works. They say it's the buy now, pay later company, but all it does is support an entire country in the United States that is like the largest debtor nation in the world right now, and something I'm vehemently opposed to, which is buying stuff on credit. Credit is really good for a very specific purpose. It's good typically for banks to lend out money to companies that they will then pay back, as opposed to lending money out to consumers to purchase like phones or a camera or a television and have them pay that back month over month. Because the most expensive way to buy anything is on credit. When you purchase a TV at 15% interest and you pay it for it over 12 months, not only are you buying the TV, but you're also paying an additional 15% interest over the course of the year. And lots of people use those like 0% interest financing options, and from what my understanding is that they either make money when people don't pay it off in time, or they just upcharge you a little bit to get you to sign up for those. So you're pretty much paying the interest on the product in the first place. But Affirm as a company is interesting because they claim to be sort of the anti-credit card company. And when I was researching Affirm, because I was kind of curious as to what it was, I had seen it before, but I didn't know that they were as large as they were and that they were going public. All this stuff sort of happened. I started looking at their website, and it's pretty interesting. It's the first thing when you click on the About for Affirm, it says, it's all about helping you say yes. Yes to the things that will make your life easier, more fulfilled, and more fun. The interview outfit, the trip of a lifetime, the new mattress for a good night's sleep. Their whole idea is that you purchase these things on credit and then pay them back later. Don't worry about it. Enjoy the mattress today. Get the more expensive mattress because, heck, you're paying over month. It's just a $40 extra a month if you buy with Affirm and you buy this mattress. There was a time in America, well before I was alive, where the country and the people in the country were not so deeply invested into debt, and the idea of debt wasn't, oh, it's a tool to create wealth. That's what a lot of people that comment on my videos say. They say that, oh, it's a great way to create wealth. It opens up funds. I'm not going to pay for my iPhone right up front because I could use that money and invest in to make more money. Yeah, I get it. You're the smartest guy in the room, and that's wonderful. You're the smartest guy in the room. But when you lose your job and you have $0 in your bank account because you've been investing it so heavily into cryptocurrencies, and then that market dips. No, but if you invest all this money that you say you're going to invest and then you lose your job, you still have the debt. The debt's still going to be there no matter what happens. The debt's going to be there. You have to pay it off month over month over month. So no matter how smart you think you're being, I feel like maybe I'm not being smarter, but at least I'm safer. I have no debt. I don't owe anybody a single penny except my rent pay every month and obviously the basic utilities. But that's it. I don't owe anybody any money for anything. I could cut a few things out, probably maybe lower my phone bill a little bit, but none of these things that I owe are debts. It's basically stuff I need to keep paying for to live in America. The next thing that they say on their website under, it's just about helping you say yes. It says, yes isn't always easy. When you're trying to save for the future or meet financial goals, it can seem smarter to put off those big purchases, but sometimes waiting can mean months or years or never. Sometimes because you can't save the money, it means you'll never be able to buy it. That right there was the reason I made this video. It's the most contradictory statement of all time. So here's what they're saying. If you have to save for something, it could take months or years or never. That means you might never be able to save the money to purchase this thing. But they're saying that if you buy it through Affirm, you'll be able to pay them off. So by nature of using Affirm, they directly contradict themselves. You will be able to save up for it, because had you just instead of made those purchase payments plus 15%, you would have been able to buy the thing, and as long as it takes you to pay it off. So if it takes you 12 months to pay it off, you lost out on the 15% that you gave to Affirm to borrow the money, and then you also paid it off. So they say that you could never pay it off. Why would they let you buy it? If in their about they say that, hey, you might never be able to pay this off, do you think it's something you should really be doing? Some people can't. Some people don't have the privilege to buy the camera. They can't save up the money for it. It's like, then they can't. They got to find different ways. I just showed in a video, my last video, the 30-minute long video, that I made $1,000 starting from 50 flipping computers. Yes, I have an expertise in it, but that doesn't mean that you can't build the same expertise. That's the thing with Affirm, is all it does is, it's like giving drugs to a drug addict and saying, well, yeah, but if I don't give him drugs, he gets uncomfortable and he gets all irritated. It's like, he's a drug addict. Why are you giving that to him? It's so different than somebody that's addicted to debt and spending money that they don't have. Affirm is awful. Not a fan, obviously. The next thing they say is credit cards were supposed to help. As many of us learned the hard way, late fees, compounding interest, and penalties make it way too easy to spiral into debt. This is how credit card companies make money. This is the same way that they make money. They make money on charging you an interest. Affirm is a better buy. One specifically designed to help you say yes to the things you want while keeping you out of unhealthy debt. In my opinion, if you're buying a TV, it's unhealthy debt. If you're buying a camera, it's unhealthy debt. If you're buying a phone, if you're buying a mattress, all this stuff is unhealthy debt. You could deal without that specific good. They are pushing consumer purchases. It's not pushing, like, even something I'm not a huge fan of paying for college with debt. Obviously, my wife had $30,000 student loans. Not a fan of it. Not a fan of paying it off. We got to pay it off. It's gone now. But it's interesting that they're saying that it's almost a good thing to invest in consumer debt and not a good thing to invest in at least student loans. I mean, I don't think you should do student loan debt, but if you're gonna choose a debt, I would choose something that's at least could potentially help you make more money, as opposed to buying a new TV, because all that's going to do is make you less productive. Next, they'd say that they're transparent. We'll tell you the upfront total amount that you paid. The numbers will never go up unless, I imagine, if you don't pay on the certain schedule. Flexible, you choose the payment schedule that works for you. Fair, we won't charge you late fees or penalties of any kind ever. That's basically the whole company in a nutshell. Their whole thing is because life could use a little bit more yes. And they claim that this whole thing is to promote a better financial future, but that's simply not true. Any debt, especially consumer debt, is the worst kind of debt. There was a time in America in World War II where the country was able to issue bonds to its people, and the people were actually able to purchase the bonds with cash and give the government money to go fight a war. If we were to do that in 2021, there would be like 15 people able to buy the bonds. And obviously the bond market right now, not something you want to get invested in, but it's just the idea is that people don't have cash anymore. They can't buy anything anymore because we've been told that debt is such a powerful tool. You got to use debt, you got to use debt, you got to use debt. And that's simply just not the case, as we've talked about on this channel a million times. And Affirm just affirms our suspicions even more. They're not out here to help you. They're a multi-billion, with a B, not an M, or a T. This isn't the government. We don't talk about trillions with the government, but a multi-billion-dollar company. Their interest is not helping you. Their interest is making money off of your snap decisions, bad purchases. That's why Affirm is there, and they're not there to help you get a better financial self. If they were there to help you get a financial self, what they would do is when you're about to buy that thing on credit, they would say, don't do it, canceled. But then they wouldn't be a company because they couldn't generate any money from telling people to not buy stuff, which is why it's tough to make YouTube videos, because like, how do you treat like a business if you can't ever tell anybody to go buy anything as a minimalist and you're cheap guy like myself? But I'd rather help people, I feel like, than make a quick buck, because I have my own ways of making money that aren't YouTube, and I just enjoy making the videos. See, look at how great of a guy I am. Now, if you want to support my channel, go to the Patreon link down below. I used to have a Patreon. I think I still technically have it. Don't put money into it. Just don't do it. Okay, so after reading a little bit more on the company, it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know how this company is in business. So they say that you can either select a 3, 6, or 12 month, and there's no penalty for paying it off early. Doesn't charge you any late penalty or annual fees, which could add to the principal balance. But I don't understand. So if from what it sounds like, it seems like people are able to get exceptionally easy loans through an app. And then what they do is if you don't pay it, it doesn't matter. So how is this company in business? Wait, how do they make money? If there's no late fees? Wait, what? I guess what I'm saying is don't sign up for Affirm. I don't believe it's a good idea. I've expressed my opinions in this video. The only positives I think that could potentially come for it is that if you're purchasing something that will guarantee make you money, if you have something lined up where you just can't afford it right now and you're getting payment for it afterwards, I would tell you just to figure it out, or maybe you're not ready for that certain thing. Affirm is just basically another Americanism, I call them at this point. It's how do I get something without having to work for it? How do I get something now without having to pay for it? There are lots of people out there who make lots of money who are so bad with it doesn't matter. And there's lots of people who don't make a lot of money and are so bad with it, it doesn't matter. I've purchased computers from guys who were trying to pay their rent that day because of the computer and they drove $40,000 trucks. Bad decisions affect everybody. Affirm, these sites like that and these companies like that are not out there to help you. They're out there to harm you and to get you to buy something today, right now, at this exact immediate moment. And I'm telling you that if you sign up for these things, you either A, can't afford it, or B, if you can't afford it, you're gonna be killing yourself just to pay for it. The best way to do it is just to save up cash and buy used. I'm a big used guy. I know I didn't purchase my phone used. Phones used, I'm sticky on those. It's a little bit tougher, I think, because people won't pay their phones off and they try to sell the phone. There's lots of sketchy stuff that can have with the phone used, so I tried to go with the cheaper option that I was comfortable with. $600 was a lot, but it was cheap enough where I was comfortable with it. So just make sure you're buying stuff used. The camera you're looking at was used. The monitor over here is used. My computer was used. My keyboard was used. The mouse was used. The laptop over there was used. Most things I own were used, or I built them. Like this desktop, I built it. This microphone right here was used. Buy stuff used. Don't be afraid to purchase things used. It's the best way to do it, I think, and you don't use credit cards to do it. You buy with cash. You don't owe anybody any money ever, and typically most things you purchase used, especially tech products, can be sold at a later date at a very similar price. So if you're looking to upgrade, you basically borrowed that camera, phone, iPad, MacBook for $100 or something, and you could use it for 2 or 3 years. I know I've done stuff like that. This monitor I bought for $170. I think 3 years now. I think 3 years ago in 2018 at this point, and I know if I wanted to, I could sell for probably $300. So just be patient, find a good deal, and make sure you have the cash for it. So don't sign up for Affirm. Don't buy stuff new. Don't be afraid to buy stuff used. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one, and peace out.